Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we are going to be reviewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-29 win versus the Dallas Cowboys. Oh my goodness, what a game. This game had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and we're going to be talking all about that right here, right now. If you guys are new, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button if you did enjoy this game and you do enjoy these types of videos. And leave your thoughts about this game down in the comments section down below. I imagine they're going to be very diverse in terms of opinions and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So in these lists, I always have a good and a bad list, right? And the first guy I put on that good list when looking at this game was our punter of all people. Bradley Pinion had a really, really good game. 4 punts, 3 of them inside the 20, and he ended up having a long punt of 65 yards as well. He really did have a phenomenal game. He did an excellent job of backing up the Dallas Cowboys into their own territory. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing to see. Good job, Bradley Pinion. Tom Brady is also on this good list as well. 32 for 50, 379 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, not sacked a single time in this game today. We will get into that in a little bit. Brady was absolutely masterful, and in my opinion, the 2 interceptions that he had were not his fault. One of them was on a Hail Mary, one of them was on a play that we will talk about in a little bit. But overall, Brady did great today. He did everything he needed to do to win, and then some. We will get into that in a moment as well. Overall, Brady was phenomenal today. Antonio Brown is also on this good list today. 5 receptions on 7 targets for 121 yards with a touchdown as well. He was great. He had a long 47-yard touchdown today. He did wonderful. They stopped throwing to him in the second half, which was kind of confusing, but overall, Brown looked great. Another favorite target of Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, did great in this game as well. 8 targets, 8 catches, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Both of Brady's more favorite targets showed up in the game today, and it was a wonderful thing to see. Chris Godwin, I have him half on the good list, to be honest, half on the bad list as well. He's half on the good list because he had 14 targets, 9 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown, one of his biggest catches being at the end of the game that set the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up for their game-winning field goal. Again, we'll get into that in a little bit. So Chris Godwin does get some redemption in my eyes. We'll talk about where he slipped up a little bit later on in this video, but Chris Godwin did certainly have some good, even great moments in his game today. Jadon Mickens was another guy who was extremely impressive in this game. He had 2 punt returns for 21 yards and 3 kick returns for 92 yards, an average of 30.7 yards. That's a great day returning for Jadon Mickens. I imagine he might stay the Buccaneers returner here for the foreseeable future. And that's not a knock on Jalen Darden or anything, but if the guy's, doing good at returning, why change that? And it seems like Jadon Mickens is starting off on the right foot in terms of being the Buccaneers returner. Shaq Barrett I have on the good list. He was the only Buccaneer to get a sack in this game. The Cowboys offensive line, I think overall, did a pretty decent job. He finished this day with 4 total tackles. He also would have 3 solo tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 quarterback hits. The Buccaneers finished the day with 7 quarterback hits and 1 sack, so not a great job in terms of pass rushing, but Shaq Barrett was the guy who stood out. Also, another guy was Vita Vea. He continued to do Vita Vea things. He didn't show up in the stat sheet that much at all, but he continued to push the pocket, do exactly what he needed to do to create disruption for the Dallas Cowboys offense as a whole. Again, I'm not seeing him pop up at all in the stat line today, but he definitely helped bring some level of pressure, and there were some crucial moments for the Dallas Cowboys, getting holds on Vita Vea that changed some of the circumstances and context of crucial drives in this game. So shout out to Vita Vea for that. Carlton Davis is another guy I'm going to put on the good list. He had 2 total tackles, 3 pass deflections, and an interception. They very rarely targeted Carlton Davis in this game, I thought. There were, very few times that they threw towards him. And, Dak Prescott, he threw 58 passes in this game. So I certainly think that that is saying something, that only a handful of them went towards the direction of Carlton Davis, because he did a very good job at cornerback today. He got an interception. He got 3 pass deflections. It was a very solid day for Carlton Davis. And to be honest, he was pretty much carrying the secondary during certain plays and certain portions of the game. So he did wonderful. The offensive line did good in pass blocking today. As I said, Tom Brady, he had no sacks on the day and only 2 quarterback hits at that. The offensive line, I thought, did a very, very good job of keeping Brady's jersey clean and making sure he didn't run into too much trouble. A couple of more guys I'm just going to mention here. Lavonte David, 6 total tackles, 1 pass deflection, 1 quarterback hit. Devin White, 10 total tackles. You got to give him credit for that. Antoine Winfield Jr. had 8 tackles as well. I'm just going to give credit where credit's due there. They did make some good tackles there. And, there were some missed tackles, of course. That is, kind of on the bad list. But, Lavonte David, Devin White, their numbers on paper looked pretty decent. I got to give, again, just credit to all the guys that went out there and just did some good stuff. Just, again, good job for everybody who ended up on the good list. And on the bad list, there's a lot as well. Again, this game had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Sean Murphy-Bunting's injury was the first thing on the bad list. I will make a video as soon as I get an update on that situation, but I don't even want to speculate. A lot of people say that it was a very gruesome arm injury. I saw it for myself. It was not a good arm injury for Sean Murphy-Bunting. I don't know how long he's going to be out. I don't know what the circumstances are going to be. You can bet that I will have updates for you guys once I get them. But Sean Murphy-Bunting might be out for a significant length of time, maybe this season. We'll have to wait and see. Defensive penalties were very frustrating in this game, especially in the secondary. I know Andrew Adams had 1, Carlton Davis had 1, Jamel Dean had a couple. We'll get back to Jamel Dean, by the way. It was just frustrating. It gave the Cowboys extra yards. I think on the day, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had finished with, I believe it was somewhere in the category of 8 or 9 penalties. 11 penalties, sorry, is what they finished with for 106 yards. You can't have that. Penalties like that for that much yardage can lose you games very easily. It almost lost the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this game in particular. So that is something that you just cannot have happen point blank period if you're trying to go out there and win some football games. Ronald Jones had a fumble in this game, and he was benched right after it happened. It gave the Dallas Cowboys a short field. I believe they scored a field goal on that play or a touchdown, one or the other. You can't have turnovers like that. As I said before, Tom Brady had a Hail Mary that resulted in an interception. That one I don't knock too much because it's the end of the half. That is what it is. But Ronald Jones had a fumble inside the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 25-yard line. You can't do that. You're giving the opposing team free points, basically. Leonard Fournette had a dropped pass that led to an interception in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 25-yard line as well. Again, you're giving the Dallas Cowboys, you're giving opposing teams free points there. Like, what is going on there? You can't have that happen. Also, real quick, I do want to say on the good list, I can't believe I forgot about this man. Ryan Suckup. How in the world could I forget about Ryan Suckup? I'm gonna put that in the comments section as well. But Ryan Suckup made all of his kicks today. He was 4 for 4 on extra points. He got the game-winning field goal. Of course, he is, on the good list. Of course he is. He won us the game. So that is what it is. Ryan Suckup is on the good list. Congrats to him for helping us win the game. That's not an easy thing to do. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Suckup, for not missing the kick. But again, back to the bad list. Leonard Fournette, he had a drop pass that led to an interception. You're giving opposing teams free points. You can't do that. One thing that was very confusing to me was why was Leonard Fournette out there on passing down situations when you have Giovani Bernard on your football team? Again, Giovani Bernard on that last drive when Ryan Succop made the game-winning field goal. Again, he is on the good list for that. You know, you had Giovani Bernard out there catching passes, and he made some very tough catches. So why don't you just have him out there for a lot of passing downs? Why don't you just give him some handoffs? That's what's confusing to me. Maybe we'll see more of that in the future games, but I want somebody to ask Byron Leftwich about that because that was very annoying to watch throughout this game. Giovani Bernard should be out there more, especially given that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had passed the ball 50 times in this game, and Giovani Bernard only got targeted 3 times. That's got to change. That has got to change, in my opinion. It's not a big knock on Leonard Fournette, but we saw last year that Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones struggled to catch the football. Heck, Leonard Fournette had a drop today that led to an interception that gave the Dallas Cowboys free points. Why don't you have Giovani Bernard out there? That is my question for offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. So, who knows, maybe they will start using him more in passing down situations in the future. Chris Godwin had a drop in a crucial drive on 4th down. He did redeem himself, like I said. He had some really high highs and some really low lows himself. But then the big play was he had a fumble right at the goal line, at the 1-yard line. It was like 2 minutes left in the ball game, or maybe even 3 minutes left in the ball game. And Chris Godwin had a very, very, very crucial fumble that almost lost the team the ball game. Can't have that happen. Can't have turnovers. That's how you lose games. We've been talking about this for years now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 3 really bad turnovers today with 2 fumbles and an interception off of a dropped pass. You can't do that. You cannot do that. It is inexcusable, in my opinion. The Buccaneers have got to clean that up first and foremost, in my opinion. And then finally, guys, the last 2 people I have on the bad list are Jamel Dean and Ross Cockrell. Now, Ross Cockrell, I'm willing to forgive a little bit. He is our 4th cornerback. They targeted him a lot, and Todd Bowles put him in some really difficult and weird situations where he was on Amari Cooper or on CeeDee Lamb by himself. I didn't like that, but, you know, he is still going on the bad list. They picked on Ross Cockrell a lot after he had to be placed in this game once Sean Murphy-Bunting got injured. I imagine the Buccaneers might look to add a veteran cornerback somewhere, but Jamel Dean was also picked on a lot throughout this game. I mean, just absolutely picked on at very, very crucial moments and consistently throughout this game. It is telling that both Jamel Dean finished with 9 tackles, 1 pass deflection, that's a good play for him, but 9 tackles for Jamel Dean, 6 for Ross Cockrell. That is telling whenever your cornerbacks are getting that many tackles in a game. So those guys, definitely need to improve. With the injury to Sean Murphy-Bunting, I imagine the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are probably going to add a veteran cornerback somewhere down the line. We will have to wait and see. But regardless of all the bad, all the lows, right? And there were some very, very frustrating lows for both the offense and the defense. The Buccaneers won this game at the end of the day because of Brady giving a masterful drive to get the Buccaneers into field goal range and Ryan Succop nailing the game-winning field goal. So the Buccaneers at the end of the day are 1-0. There's plenty to be cleaned up on, guys, absolutely. But it's like I always say, a win is a win. So what do you guys think about this game? Leave me your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear it. We're going to have plenty of more content coming out here throughout the remainder of this week and going into next week as well, because the Buccaneers have another game come next Sunday. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, Buccaneers get the win, and go Bucs. Bucs are 1-0. See you guys soon.